Right, okay, and down. So setup-wise, very, very good. Grip-wise, looking a lot better now. As I said, top of the backswing was the kind of big issue you had there with that right elbow. Left wrist was good when you went back here, okay? So this is the before one on the left-hand side here, okay? So there's kind of your before swing. Left wrist is nice and flat there. That, for me, is now in a good position across here. Just his elbow sticking out a little bit too high again. If I show you the one on the right-hand side, that was a better movement. But if we actually look in, when we get to the top of the backswing here, there, okay? Same good, it's the top of the backswing there, same good kind of left wrist. And if you look at those two bits, hang on, they look fairly similar, don't they? However, look at the slight cup in there on your right wrist, and that one there for me is pretty straight. So your right wrist is going from being this way to slightly more this way. So you're starting to get, so the fact if your hand is this way, you're losing grip pressure. Yeah. If the elbow comes in, you're able to hold it a lot tighter. If I do this now, it's like, your fingers can't grip on. So having that slight little kind of cupping in that right wrist there, as you can see, and the elbow is at a slight angle. We go down there to kind of there. That's the difference there. But when you look at just those, like, hang on, what's kind of the difference? But that right wrist now being slightly more underneath in some way, so you kind of hold that tray above your head there, something like this, from here, palm to target, palm kind of up there, then your palm can kind of come down, almost in that sort of like low five, sort of like hitting position this way. It's not kind of here and then having to go palm up and then the last second corkscrew it to square the club face up. You're just basically just slapping the golf club this way, this sort of right wrist sort of flexion pronation this way. Okay, so from there now as the club then comes back, good angle now back to golf, or good swing plane there. Okay, club's going back down nicely in front. Your arms are getting back in front of your chest. The butt of the golf club now, as we said on that video you sent me through, your arms are down. The club is out, so you're not rising the handle up excessively, sort of having that club just open. And then when you swing through the golf ball there now, okay, it's a fuller swing there over your left shoulder. You're not trying to save the club, and the club, some of the ones I saw that weren't through, the club was kind of more down this position, not quite to that extent, but when it's sort of over your shoulder nicely this way, there's less save in the swing. When the club is doing this, you say with the driver, a lot of times you're getting that sort of, you're in here, you've lost grip position, the club's coming back, and you're like, whoop, trying to save, and that sort of rolling of the club to try and save it causes the club now, I show on this one, if you come into the golf ball now with the face wide open, then try and roll the club face like so, the club now is going to finish very much down there, isn't it? Yeah. If the club is working nice and square and you can release the club up and through, now the club's going to finish more on that left shoulder position, yeah? So the follow-through feeling, I guess, or position you get into will often dictate whether you've hit a good shot or a lucky shot or a bad shot. I mean, you can still hit some shots that's straight where you've come in from this old position, elbow really stuck up high like on the left image there. You've got the club face wide open, you've saved at the last second, managed to get that club face square. Club finishes down here and the ball flies 250 dead straight. That's great. That's what I know. But you know, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Yeah, exactly. It's just a manipulation throughout the swing, okay? So if the elbow can stay down, it's not in, okay? What we're trying to do, okay, we don't want the elbow to I mean, this was actually not a bad one, but the elbow sort of popping out there and that right wrist being flat. In theory, if the left wrist is flat, okay, the right wrist needs to be kind of in a bit more that position, yeah? So that will then bring the elbow in a little bit closer. Yeah. You're not stucking it into your rib cage. Your arm is still away from the body. You're just keeping that right wrist there. That little movement there with the wrist you did there, that's kind of the right palm to fill up the sky a bit more. So from there, we want to fill a little bit more that way, okay? Not that way, and not this way. And keep the left wrist there, and then put this, so you lose grip pressure. Once that finger, there's a gap in there, you're going to start trying to yank that club coming down. Yeah. So it almost feels that the elbows are slightly closer, I guess. That might be a feeling you sort of get there. But in terms of that right wrist feel, that kind of right palm facing up. Yeah, this once the elbow kind of, if I go from here down the line at the top, and I get this elbow just stick out like that left-hand image there, the club now is going to twist. Or if I turn the club face back, I'm now losing grip pressure. So once you've lost grip, then you're going to go, oh, crap, I've got to grip onto it. That now locks this shoulder, gets the club bit open as you come in. Now the club is like this, the handle's rising, and then you come into impact like this and going, try and save it. You save it sometimes. After 9 holes, you'll kind of get the feeling of what it needs to be. Or if you're on the range, for example, like even coming in on the Saturday with your boy, you'll hit a few shots and take maybe 10 or 15 in a row, and then you'll kind of figure out where that club is. Oh, and you just do this amount of turn. And then you get the ball dead. Oh, it's great. I mean, 10, 15 shots. And then, and then the next day, what's that timing again? And again, that's in 10 or 15 shots in a row, over and over again, with the same club from the same lie. Whereas out there, you hit the same club once in a row. Maybe a provisional, which often goes straight, doesn't it? Because it's the second ball after a short space. So yeah, getting that club, getting to the top of the backswing. Left wrist still stays flat, elbows are going to stay slightly more down and in, not into the body. Just from there, this way. It's not here and then stuck into your rib cage, okay? You still want your arms to basically work across your torso. Whole bag? Yeah. I would say with the wedges probably, if you've got any of that movement there with the elbow sticking out, if you want to know in a second, but if the elbow's sticking out here and doing this, yeah, you're going to really sort of struggle with that and just, yeah, you're trying to save the club. Oh, yeah. Again, what you'll probably find with the longer clubs, the direction will be more and more exaggerated because the ball's in there for longer and you got the time is going to be more precise. And with the wedges, because you're doing sort of this flicking, you might end up a few strikes, you sort of thin and fat them with the wedges. And you know yourself as a good golfer, thin's better than fat. So you're just thin to win, innit? So but it's not a good bad, is it? That's the trouble. So, okay, mate, make sense, buddy?
Yeah, that makes. Yeah.
Cool.